All right, we're good. Okay, hi everyone. My name is Bethany Eubanks. I want to just thank you guys for being here. This is our fourth training call for the Black History Month series. It's been an amazing month, and thank you all to the people that have been on every single call. We really appreciate you guys, and it's been an incredible month. So we wanted to end it off with a bang. We have a really good treat for you guys tonight. Should be a lot of value for you guys. And so just to introduce who the BC Collective is for you guys again, we are a family of Black creators who are creating a space for our sisters and brothers to walk in their skin unapologetically and break generational curses. So we want to just get right into it for you guys tonight. So I'm going to go ahead and pass it off to Ashley.
Thank you. Okay, so what we're gonna do, yeah, you could go to the next next slide if you want to. Actually, yeah, leave it on the first one because we're gonna do brief intros before we go through everybody. So essentially what I want for the first panel, we have a nice agenda. Each of you guys are going to introduce yourself and just say, a little bit about you, kind of why you started the business, why you started entrepreneurship. And if you are in Monat, why you decided to do that as well. So Tiffany, you are up first. If you want to introduce yourself. We can go to the next slide.
Hi, I am Tiffany. I am a hairstylist who is located in Atlanta, Georgia. Well, Metro Atlanta, Georgia. I'm like 30 minutes outside of Atlanta, but Metro Atlanta. I am also a Monat market partner of 2 years. Why I tapped into entrepreneurship, it actually kind of happened on accident. I'm not even gonna lie. Like I didn't plan on being an entrepreneur. I just kind of started working for myself. But I realized that I like to take I guess I like to take lead and I like to pave my own way. And that's what ended up happening with me being a hairstylist. And then I also enjoy partnership alongside my entrepreneurship. So when I discovered Monat and how it essentially aligned with my business, I was like, okay, this works. I'm getting a separate sense of community. I'm getting professionals in all types of realms, scientists, everything that's going to back up my personal beliefs. And then just everything that comes along with it. So that is my reasoning for entrepreneurship on the different levels. And I'm happy to share my story with the rest of you guys and possibly expand and provide any type of quality to any other entrepreneurs in this group.
Next slide, Maddie, and we'll let the next person introduce themselves. All right, Andrew, you're up.
All right, just unmuted myself. Can everyone hear me? Probably. All right, excellent. So my name's Andrew. I'm in real estate. I am not active in Monat, although I am a recent customer. As you can see by my profile picture, I've been trying to grow my hair out the last couple of years and find interesting ways to wear it, as well as take care of this beard that we've been nurturing. So I actually reached out to Ashley because she posted about her business so consistently. And we go way back anyway, but at one point I said to myself, let me support. And that's how I got involved in Monat, strictly as a customer. So far, so good. Now, as far as how did I get started in real estate, to be honest, I had to purchase a multifamily home at one point, and the process was so difficult, so confusing, and so exhausting that by the time I had finished, I told myself, one, I never want to do this again. But two, I need to make sure that all of my friends and family know how this is done so they don't have to go through what I went through. Initially, I wanted to get my real estate license in order to save myself money on transactions. So I don't have to pay a realtor when I flip a house or something like that. But ultimately, I was able to help a lot of people, friends and family and strangers. I put some people in homes, I've helped a lot of people find apartments. And most of all, I've taken on the role of a coach and an educator. So that's how I got started, and that's the gist of the why. To help others, and of course, it's a very lucrative business to make as much money as I can on my schedule, so I don't have to answer to someone else, and I can be available to my family and my friends when I need me. So that's why I do what I do.
Thank you, thank you. Okay, Maddie, next slide.
Hi, everyone. My name is Bria. You can call me Bree. I'm not involved with the Monat business, but I've known Ashley for a really, really long time. And she's just always been a go-getter, a hustler. And we have so many mutuals that when she, came to me and told me about her business and then told me about this platform and panel, I hopped at the opportunity. As of right now, I am pretty much a content creator, if you will. Full-time, I am in human resources and talent acquisition. But on the creative side, I make content for beauty, lifestyle, and wellness. And then I also have my own business, which is House of Spicy. It does include hair care products, but it mostly has highlighted like eyewear and just accessories and style, things of that nature. So I'm very excited to be here, and I can't wait to dive into some of these questions. And I hope you guys, really enjoy this panel. It was put together by a really awesome team, and just shout out to you guys for making this possible.
Thank you, thank you. All right, last speaker.
How's it going?
Going good, it's going good. Sorry,
It's going good.
So if you just want to introduce yourself, tell us a
Yes.
little bit about you, why you decided to become a barber, and then also.
Yes. Okay. Yes.
We can
First of
hear
all,
you.
you can hear me. First of all, I'm very grateful. Thank y'all, everybody who was on the call. Very grateful to be in this situation. I am Loran Bunda Barber. A lot of people know me as a pastor as well. One of the youngest pastors out here. I became a celebrity barber. Cut a lot of NFL players, a lot of Pro Bowl players, Travis Kelce, a lot of players. I always wanted to become an entrepreneur. I always wanted to work for myself. I always wanted to show people that how hard it is to become an entrepreneur. How hard it is, when it get winter outside. A lot of days, man, it's get tough. You get tough as an entrepreneur. So I just wanted to become an entrepreneur to show people how important it is to get back up, to keep going, to keep grinding. And I've been with Monat for about a year and a half now. So with Monat, it was even better. It was like, why wouldn't you be on Monat with the entrepreneurship and the people around Monat, So I was like very grateful to, be on Monat and meet people like this, So that's what I do it for. That's my why. I love Monat. I love being an entrepreneur. And just like I said, very grateful to answer all these questions and get it going. Very excited as well. So again, thanks for being on the call.
Yes, thank you so much. Now I'm going to pass it off to Ariane. She's going to be our moderator with all of these questions for the panel. So Ariane, take it away.
Yes, thank you. Thank you. Let me pull back up the order in which we're going to go. So basically, I'm just going to go through the questions and you guys are going to get this awesome value. So if you do not have a notebook and pen yet, I suggest that you grab one. So I'm just going to jump right in. So what is the biggest obstacle you overcame in your business? How did you do it? And what would you have done differently? Tiffany, take it away.
Okay, so one of the biggest obstacles I overcame in my business, I receive it more as a blessing now than an obstacle, but in the time, it felt very much like an obstacle. I am a military spouse, well, prior military spouse. And at the time, I had built my business in Atlanta for 7 years, and then we got orders to Korea. So I had to move my business from Atlanta to Korea, a place I had never been, some territory that I had never touched. I knew not one single soul in Korea. Got to Korea, completely booked out. I was there for 2 years and I gained over 700 new clients within that 2-year span. Got orders back, well, not got orders, but we decided to move back to Georgia after Korea. So I had to basically move from Korea back to Atlanta. And, one would probably think, oh, moving back to Atlanta, that's your stomping grounds, just get your old clients back. Not that simple. We were in Korea from 2019 to 2021. So as we all know, the pandemic had popped off, all types of things had happened. And then also I redefined my brand while I was in Korea. Therefore, I left being this weave and wig, and I was all for the bundles and everything, to being this natural hairstylist. So I essentially was coming back as a new stylist. So I had to reintroduce myself to a territory in which I was already known for something very particular. So that was a challenge for me because, you know, just I had to prove to people that I was no longer just knowledgeable in weave. I had to accumulate this clientele of people who wanted to actually care for their natural hair. And then in a big city like Atlanta, everybody knows Atlanta is where the girls are. The girls are out here, hair down to their derriere, you know. So I'm just out here like, come get your natural hair done. And they're like, what? But now I am back and I am once again booked out completely, and I am known for natural hair care. So honestly, what I would do differently in that situation, I'm not really sure if I would have done anything differently. What I will say is that I'm glad I stood my ground and I stuck to what it was that I knew I wanted to put out there and really dive into, because had I not, I probably would have ended up back here doing something that I didn't really want to do, back here still focusing on weave, basically taking steps backward when I had made so many steps forward. So yeah, obstacles, they end up being blessings later on, but for sure in that moment, you really do have to figure out how you're gonna get through it so you can look behind you and be like, wow, I did that.
Yes, I love that so much. So, who wants to tackle this question next?
If none of y'all want to tackle it, we can move on to the next.
Oh, wow. I was on mute. I'm sorry. I was saying that one of the obstacles that I encountered was pretty early in the business. It was definitely during the pandemic and trying to convince people that this was the brand that they should shop from, especially when people were being so pretty much hoarding their resources and not wanting to spend too much money. I had to really get creative. So I would say overcoming that doubt and thinking that people won't support and just getting out of my own head was probably the biggest obstacle. And I think that we all encounter that, whether it's in business or just in our personal lives, is getting out of our own head. If I could do anything differently, I would say I would really give myself more positive self-talk. Like back then, just letting myself know that you have that brand that people want to shop from. Do not, continue to doubt yourself in your business. So I would definitely say that.
That's good. That's good. Well, I guess I'll get on and say a little something about the business. The biggest obstacle in this business as an entrepreneur, as Monat, anything, man, is just not worrying about haters, not worrying about haters. Don't worry about what the next person doing. Don't worry about what the next person got. Just continue to get up, continue to work, continue to put your head down and work each and every day. And like the other one said a few minutes ago, she said obstacles turn blessings. That's so true. It's not really, as an entrepreneur, it's not really an obstacle. It's all blessings. You're going to get to learn and get better at what you're doing. So I continue to put God first in my business more and more each and every day, and make every day count and inspire more people, and get around people like Monat Business, get around people like that'll help you, not just with Monat, but as being an entrepreneur. The people so excited, the people always making content. So I would tell you myself, get more into inspiring by Monat people, by Monat business partners, and just keep working your butt off, man, because it's going to turn to blessings at the end of the day. Hang around people that inspire you, that love being around you. Don't worry about what haters say. Don't worry about what nobody say. Don't compare your business with nobody else's. Just put your head forward and go, man, and keep pushing. It don't matter what business it is, just an entrepreneur in general. So if it get difficult, as an entrepreneur, it get difficult. I've been an entrepreneur now for 5 years. 5 years, I walked out on faith, and I haven't punched the clock. So when it get difficult, I just look at it like start creating more. If something's so difficult in your life, start creating more. You're not doing something right. You got to figure out, get around the right people, get around some more creative people, So, obstacles turn to blessings. Obstacles turn to blessings. That's no doubt.
All right. So for me, the biggest obstacle I think I had to come was it's a combination of things, both inside and outside factors. So I was a dual career, what people in my business call dual career. I had a actual salaried 9-to-5 job. Actually, it wasn't even 9 to 5. It was really more like all 24/7. I ran a gym, and those are very long hours, open 7 days a week. I was also trying to get started in the real estate business. So the two biggest obstacles were time management and being a perfectionist. I wanted to, when you're dealing with people's homes, you're dealing with people's personal financials, when you're dealing with all these sensitive matters, and what generally is going to be the biggest transaction in most people's lifetimes, you want to get it right the first time. There's little to no room for error. Things will happen, but it can't be your fault. So I started my business dealing with family and friends, and so the stakes were that much higher. Some of my closest people in my life are trusting me to make sure that their family gets their transaction done perfectly. So a little bit of I had to get over just the fear of making any mistakes and wanting to not act until everything lined up perfectly. It took me a while to find my flow and to trust my training and to trust my experience, and even sometimes your intuition. When you're negotiating, you have to figure out if you're going to push sometimes or give sometimes. And ultimately, the goal is to find the best outcome for your clients and to see a successful transaction. So that's what I had to learn how to do. And the way I did that was one, just relying on the fact that I've studied, I've practiced, and I'm experienced in business outside of real estate. So I took a lot of my life experiences and just brought that to everything that I do. And just being transparent and being operating on the level makes it a lot easier. You don't have to remember lies. You don't have to cover up tracks. You just do good business. And if I could have done anything differently, I think that I would learn to rely on my team and my network even more. I've grown in business. I've grown to be a very solitary person. I don't look to others for help. I try to get it done on my own first. But my close circle has taught me, and life has shown me, that you cannot get it all done on your own. So what I would have done differently is relied on my network from day one. We all have a lot more people around us than we know that are willing to support. So.
Awesome. Okay, Maddie, if you can go to the next, thank you. So how do you connect to your audience virtually, and how has Monat helped to boost your personal business? And LaRon, you're going to start off with this one.
I would say, first of all, you have to be very exciting, especially if you got a platform as an entrepreneur. A lot of entrepreneurs grow platforms very well, so you have to be very humble. You have to be very encouraging. Once you go out to different events, different parties, any type of place, a lot of people come up to me, and I give them a warm welcome. I'm very excited. I stay excited. So saying that is, some people that's entrepreneurs, they always think when they get big or when they get to a certain spot, you have to treat people, you have to act like you're bigger than the next person. But when you're an entrepreneur, you have to meet people where they at. You have to fit them right in where they at. That's what's going to help your business the most. I don't care if you're the sharpest person in the room, the richest person in the room, just make sure you're the exciting person in the room when people come around you, and that will help your business grow tremendously. And I see now a lot of people, I was out last night. I see a lot of people that's big time entrepreneurs that's just think they bigger than what they is. You cannot be like that. You got to stay humble. You got to put God first. You got to stay excited. And that's what's going to help your business grow from the beginning to the end. I'm more humble now, more excited now than I was when I first started becoming an entrepreneur. So in order to get your business and the people around you to become a fan of yours or a business partner of yours, you got to stay excited. You gotta answer questions, not even answer questions, ask questions, talk to them, be excited with them, go have a drink with them, whatever it takes. As an entrepreneur, you have to do it. You have to take that next level. You have to do that in order to get other people to trust you. Like my guy was just saying, trust is a lot to do with it, so people just gonna put fear on you anyway, so, stay excited, help others. And that's gonna take, why somebody calling?
Awesome. So who wants to take this question next?
Definitely, with things being virtual, you do have to really put yourself out there. And at the end of the day, when you are running a business, you are gaining your audience, not just a audience, but your audience. These are your customers essentially, and they have to have some form of a connection to you. But people can't form a connection to you if you are not authentically yourself. So you have to brand yourself the same way that you would brand your business. Stand firm on what your beliefs are, stand firm on what your branding is, your aesthetic, all of the things. You need to establish that and make sure you're forming that connection between you and the audience. And it may be a little harder because you're not able to directly see exactly who it is you're talking to. You're talking to thousands of people on the internet. You don't know who's watching you, but somebody is always watching. So just authentically show up as yourself and just make that connection, and everything else will literally flow. If they're with it, they will continue to follow you. If they're not, they just won't. And that's not a bad thing. You're just weeding out the people who are not interested in you or what it is that you have to offer. Not everybody's always going to be interested. Not everybody's always going to be your customer. Not everybody is always going to say yes, but you still want to show up in a way that where the people who are going to say yes, or the art people who are interested, can receive what they're looking to receive and can connect with you the way they want to connect, and you can move forward from there. And since you got disconnected, I'll go ahead and share how Monat has boosted my personal business. I'm not a barber, but I am a hairstylist. So we have similar clienteles. And I will say already, being an entrepreneur is a lot of work. Being a hairstylist is a lot of work. You're physically servicing people. So you're spending 8, 10, 12, whatever your hours are of your day, physically servicing people. And then outside of that, you're responding to emails, you're responding to text messages. Outside of that, you are making sure your website is up to date, your booking site, all of these things. You're already doing all of these things as a hairstylist, barber, esthetician, whatever it is. And for me personally, Monat got rid of the hard part. Monat got rid of a lot of the hard parts, like the inventory, like the shipping, like the, if we're being honest, like the chemically processing, coming up with these formulas and these things and being able to back it up, and just all of the things. Like it offers the best for your clients, but it also handles the work for you. So you're able, it's like knowing somebody. It's like being like, I know a guy. That's how I feel about Monat. You got a problem, I know somebody who could fix it. And
that's right.
Let me put you on this regimen, let me put you onto this routine. These products will come straight to your door. Let me tell you how to use them. You do the work, it's going to do the work for you, and we're all going to see the results we're looking for.
That's right.
It just works.
That's right. There's no other business like Monat, man. There's no other business like Monat. You can't. I've been with Monat for almost 2 years now. It's nothing that I can't get. Even if the barbering is I'm having a rough day, just being busy, I can always go to somebody in my Monat market business and get encouraged. And not only get encouraged, everything that I need, I can get out of this company from somebody. It is an amazing company. I encourage anybody to get on it. Content marketing, everything, best products, everything about this company. It makes you feel good. It makes you feel light. It makes you feel, it reminds you of Black history. It makes you feel like fire and light. And we the kings of the earth and the queens of the earth. Monat it's amazing, man. It's a great business. I love it, and I'm very grateful for it.
Agreed.
All right, so moving on, why do you think multiple streams of income is so important in our current day, and how do you utilize social media to increase your revenue? So Andrew, you're gonna take this one.
Okay, I think at this point in the game, especially with everything that everybody sees online all the time, we can agree that more money coming in is better than less money coming in. Now, some people get that done by leveling up in their chosen profession, whether that's a career or they're self-employed. But ultimately, the truth is this: one is way too close to zero. I say this all the time to my friends and family. I believe that in my heart. One is too close to zero. So one of the things that I strive to do while I was working in the fitness business, I was a general manager, but I also was a DJ. I also was a track coach. I also, I think I stopped bartending at that point, but like I was doing so many things at the same time. I was trying to purchase the income property that I have currently. And I was looking to get my real estate license because I understood that at any point in time, the person that owns this business can take it away. The wrong customer can complain, whether it's true or false, and I can be terminated from my position that I worked so hard to get and put so much time and effort into. So I think the importance of having multiple streams of income is not only security financially, but also security as far as having options. If you don't have options, you start to make choices out of desperation, and that never ends well. I can speak from experience, I've been in that position as well. So I think that's why having multiple streams of income is important. You can start to allot different streams of income towards different areas of your life as well, whether that's savings, vacation, however you decide to budget what's coming in, you have multiple pots to pick from. So that's why. And as far as utilizing social media to increase my revenue, that's actually the thing that I decided to work on a lot more this year, which is why I really appreciated even getting the invite from Ash and the team here at Monat, because a lot of what I do, again, is done solo. When I'm out in the field, it's me one-on-one with my clients. Typically, I don't have an assistant, with me recording content. And oftentimes the nature of what I do needs to be very confidential. So what I had to learn is that as often as possible, take content of how the processes work, the buildings that I'm in, the spaces that I'm in, the people that I'm talking to, so that I can not only educate people, but that I can show the world that gets most of its information now from social media, what I do, who I am, and how I do what I do. So that's how I'm utilizing social media to make more money. Yeah.
Awesome. I love it. Anybody else want to take this question?
I'll take the question
I feel
too.
like Bree, oh yeah, Lauren, you go too. I know Bree, not to call you out, but I feel like you also would kill this question too.
Yeah.
Where's Bree?
For sure. So I think when it comes to social media, I really use it as leverage and as a way to, bring in more income, because there's so many opportunities right now for content creators, whether you have like paid partnerships and brand deals, you can bring in so much extra money simply by being yourself and documenting it, which is what we do as far as making content. So for me, I would say multiple streams of income has been the theme. Especially with content creation becoming such a huge drive that we all do right now, whether you're, celebrity barber or a realtor, whatever you're doing, you have to make content. And that's just pretty much the fact. I think it's more important for you to fine tune your content making skills. And then when you do that, you'll see the revenue start to come in and increase a bit more. Everybody just wants to enjoy quality content. So that's pretty much what I've been doing, and the results have been there.
Absolutely. Okay, so what is your best success story thus far in your business? And I believe, Bree, you're taking this one as well.
Yep. So I would say one of the best success stories that I have in my business would be pretty early on. There was a nonprofit called the Bail Project, and it still exists. There were a lot of protests and things happening around that time, and people were getting arrested and pretty much sitting in jail because they did not have the funds to afford their bail. And I was having a very successful few months with my business for it to be so new. The support was overwhelming, and I figured this would be a great way for me to start the philanthropy that I've always wanted to do. And I began donating proceeds from, my profit to the Bail Project. And it just felt good knowing that I could do that and pretty much spread the message about what was going on. And a lot of people started to follow suit, or they would, donate proceeds to something else that meant a lot to them. So for me at the time, I felt like a lot of people needed that support, because I can't imagine just sitting in jail because I can't afford funds. So definitely that was my best success story.
That's awesome. I love that so much. Anybody else want to take this right quick before we go on to the next one?
I'd love to hear a best success story of getting a VIP or a market partner, if anyone wants to share that.
Yeah, yeah.
Actually, oh, you want to go ahead? Okay, I'll go. Well, it's not a particular story, but my best month, as far as like PV and onboarding goes, was actually the month that I moved from Korea back to the States. It was my busiest month. Like, it was literally my most hectic month, not even business wise, but just in life. I mean, imagine moving from one country to another, but that was actually my best month. Actually, last month was my best month in my 2 years of working with Monat. But prior to that, that month was my best month that I had ever had. So I just say that to say, like, no matter what's going on in life, put your best foot forward and see what happens.
Yes, I love that. I love that. So what is your number one top tip and best piece of advice for Black entrepreneurs? Who wants to start it off?
I nominate LaRon. I want to hear what he has to say. We've been doing this for a long time.
Bro, so thankful. I'm just grateful to be on the call, and I appreciate that, bro. But man, for entrepreneurs, the top tip I would tell entrepreneurs, man, that continue to pray over your business, stay anointed over your business, because as an entrepreneur, everybody that come around your business can take away from it or put fear on it. But if you keep praying over your business and keep your business anointed, everything around you will be anointed. Like, everybody on this call will be anointed. So it's important to, keep God first with your business. Keep your business covered through God. Keep everything covered through. I don't care what it is with your business. Keep it covered through God. So everything around it, every fingerprint on your blueprint will be through God. So it's that. Even my barber chair, every celebrity that come in my barber chair is spiritual, godly. Because I pray over my barber chair. I've been doing this 5 years. I pray every day that my clients, that my Monat business partners, that my celebrity clients, that everybody is full with the spirit of God, the universal God, and truly keep God first with their business. So that's what it's gonna take, man. That's my tip to it. Stay excited, keep God first, and He'll put everybody around you for who you've been praying for around your business, like the people that's on the call today. And from today forward, everything that you see with your business, your clientele, the celebrity stylists is on here, everybody, everybody that around you, is they're gonna be like, man, thank you. Man, we connected in some type of way. You'll see, man, as an entrepreneur, you're gonna run across people every day. Man, we meant them at. Entrepreneur is different than just a 9 to 5. Nothing wrong with that. But entrepreneurship, it leads people to their prayers, it answer people's prayers. So that's my tip, man. I hope that's a good tip. And thank you, brother. Thank you, Marley.
My number one piece of advice for Black entrepreneurs would be to continue to show up and show up and represent for whatever it is that it may be. Being Black is already a huge form of representation. Show up in that way. If you're a woman, show up in that way. If you're a man, show up in that way. If you're just any entrepreneur, just whatever it is that you stand for that, because 9 times out of 10, somebody within your audience is looking for someone like you, somebody whose story that they can relate to, somebody who they can relate to physically, somebody whose lifestyle they can relate to. For me, I am a Black female lesbian, just a 30-year-old entrepreneur. I stand for all of these things. I'm a soon-to-be mom, just all of these different labels. When people introduced to my business, they may connect to me on one of those 5 levels, to where it's like, okay, she gets it. So, when you show up and you stand proud in whatever it is that your faith lies in, or that your business stands on, you're going to attract a clientele that wants to believe that it's doable, that wants to see somebody that looks like them doing it. You may be that push, you may be that drive for them. So stand up, be who you are, represent exactly what it is, who you are, and make it look good, make it look damn good. Like literally show up, give it 100%, and stand firm on who you are.
You're on mute.
Yeah.
I was just about to say that.
Wait, okay, sorry. All right, so what I heard from a lot of people tonight, well, everyone who's been speaking, more so than anything, we're just speaking about business in general, things that we've allowed ourselves to be successful in general. And we haven't really mentioned race that much tonight, which I think is a positive, because I think that, you know, this generation where we're at, you know, I'm talking about 30 somethings, 20 somethings, we understand that racism and race is a real thing, but also we know that we operate outside of that as well. We're simply professionals, right? So I like that that's how everyone's been approaching it. But specifically as my number one tip for a Black entrepreneur would be to be vocal and be comfortable about who you are. Similar to what Tiffany was saying. A lot of times in order for us to thrive in certain spaces that were not designed for us, we have to kind of dim our light a little bit. And I've, whether, you know, and you know, hats off to the select few who've never done that. You know, they bulldoze straight through, they've been themselves from day one. I mean, I admire those type of people, but honestly, you know, I found myself in spaces where, you know, I've been the only Black person in the room or in the business. And enough times I've not been in that position too, thankfully. So number one is to don't dumb yourself down to make everyone else around you more comfortable. I think that's important because it starts out as just getting through the day or getting through the meeting or getting through the one situation, but over time, it transforms who you are. And it almost even, it's like subconsciously saying, it's not okay to be me. And we're setting the standard that in America, for example, you know, that maybe whiteness is the thing that we have to model our businesses after. And there's a lot of businesses that were started and began by white people who are, you know, they're the standard for a reason. They're great at what they do, but I think that we shouldn't forget the things that make our community unique and leave them out of our business chasing success. So that's my number one piece of advice. Bring what's uniquely yours to what you do every day.
I agree. I'll just add my 2 cents as far as the number one tip for me. Being a Black entrepreneur is just highlighting what I deem is dope, cool. Just the fact that Black people are the culture. We always pretty much have been the blueprint for what's fashionable, what's fun. And it's just important to really embrace that and continue to implement that in whatever we do, especially for me as it pertains to lifestyle content, whatever I'm working on. I just try to make sure that people understand that it's not only amazing being a Black woman, but it's just so many benefits that come with that. Like we make everything look good, we make everything sound good. It's one of the best, my favorite things to be. So I just want to make sure that as an entrepreneur, I'm always reminded of that and that I embrace that. So it's number one tip for me.
Awesome. So now I'm gonna pass it off to, did we want to do the giveaway? Well, we'll do that after the Q&A. So now we're gonna have our Q&A session. So if there's any question, now is your time. You have 4 successful, amazing Black entrepreneurs here. So ask away, whether that is in the chat or unmuting yourself.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, my name is Ayanna, and I am currently in my last phase of cosmetology school. And I joined Monat as a market partner because I thought it would be a good way to leverage my future business with using the products on myself and then transitioning to clients. I am struggling with how to use that while I'm in school, like with social media. I don't want it to look so like, you know, have your products in the real. I don't want it to look salesy. I want it to be more natural. Like this is a part of my lifestyle. So if you have any tips on how to do that in my position, or any people that I should be following that I can, you know, kind of get some inspiration, I would greatly appreciate that. And I just joined last month.
My personal response, consider yourself a problem solver. You have clients who have a problem of some sort, and you are to be that problem solver. So instead of seeing yourself as quote unquote selling a problem, think of yourself as solving or selling a product, think of yourself as solving a problem. And then on top of that, it's a little, what's the word I'm looking for? Within our field, people are coming to us because they trust us. They trust our knowledge. They trust, you know, what we've learned, all of the things. So there's already a certain level of trust within you as a cosmetologist to your client. So if you have an answer to that problem, go ahead and let them know exactly what that answer is. And then on top of that, within your market partnership with Monat, you are able to literally guide them along that journey. So it is more of an extension of yourself as a stylist to them. So even outside, after you get out of this chair, I'm going to fix your hair today. And then even when you get out of this chair, I'm going to help you continue to enhance your hair along the way within using these products. With your back office and such, you're going to have their information. You're going to be able to check in on them. When their flagship comes around, that's the perfect opportunity for you to be like, hey, how's it going? You know, do you need anything new? Do you feel like something's not working for you? This is also our product of the month. You can get this for free if you go ahead and da-da-da-da. So you're able to literally help them in all of these ways. So continue to show up, continue to talk about the products, because that's also how they're going to gain trust. You're not coming out the blue like, oh, I have this magical thing. You've already been on the internet talking about it for the past 5 weeks. So obviously it works, you know? So they're going to come to you. They're going to see that you're excited about it. They're going to see that you're consistent with it. So just continue to show up. And if they need it, you have built that trust. You have built that, you know, that connection with them. And then you can, in that sense, have them join you along the journey. So, and it would honestly be like the same way anywhere else if you sell any type of retail. I know you're in school and they're already trying to get you to sell retail on those shelves. And you probably don't know the first and last thing about the products. They just tell you, sell them. At least with this, they're giving you the information, they're giving you the education, the opportunity to truly learn what it is, what it does, and why it works and how it works. So you share that information with people and help solve people's problems, and it will no longer become a sales game.
Great answer. I have a question if I'm able to go next. Can you guys hear me? Perfect. My name is Amber Wyatt, and I currently am an automation engineer in tech, but I kind of have businesses that I like to run on the side. I do a private, chef business, catering business, and my favorite business, I know that sounds bad to have a favorite business, is my travel agency business, but I do have a question for everyone on the panel. If you don't want to answer, it's fine. I am very struggling with keeping up with posting content. So I want to know, are you guys hiring an outside person to do your marketing or to do your content? I know we have a content creator on the call. I would love to connect with you. How are you guys managing that? Are you creating schedules on your phone? Are you literally blocking off this time during the day? Because I am struggling with that.
I can answer that question, just kind of hop in. When it comes to content creation, I think it's good to have a strategy. So if you are someone who really thrives off of planning in advance and having everything just in order, I would recommend utilizing things like scheduled content on Instagram. There's some apps that you can also download that can pretty much get your content formatted for you. And you can have it post when you want instead of constantly worrying about, oh, I have to post it this time, or this is the best time to get my, to get views or things like that. We can connect definitely after the call, and I can, talk to you and put you in touch with a really, really good resource as far as getting your content up and going the way you would like. But as far as the kind of nuances that comes with content creation, I would say utilize all the resources that you can, especially all the new features that Instagram has been constantly rolling out. It really is in place to help the creator. And I think once you start to understand how each of them work, it makes things so much easier for you. But again, we can definitely tap in after the call and I'll get you going.
Okay, perfect. They have a private, messaging thing in here. So if you can just message me all your info, I'll reach out to you directly. Thank you
Of
so
course.
much.
Of course.
And all of their IG handles are on the flyer that has been shared too as well.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
I'm going to answer that question very quickly too, as someone who I think is on the worst side, the worser side of posting content regularly. Just get it out. Just do it sometimes. I understand there's a difference between something that's curated and polished. And obviously, you definitely want to put your best foot forward. But a little bit, 10% of something is better than 100% of nothing. Even if you only have 10 seconds to say, hey guys, look what I'm doing, click this link. Maybe it'll help one person, or maybe you'll reach one more person than you would have if you decided not to do it, because it's not perfectly shining with all the nice transitions and the things that you see very high level content creators make. Sometimes I literally just have to record myself in the car. Hey guys, I'm one way here, or I'm standing in a room again, this is real estate now. I'm just standing in an empty room. Hey, check out this empty room. This is what it costs in this area. Cool, great. Send me a message. Let people know who you are, what you do. Consistency is better than it being perfect, I would say. So try to just post semi-regularly or very regularly for those of you who are, schedule friendly.
That's great. I'll get on and say one thing to her as well. She's having trouble making content. I will tell her, man, nowadays I tell everybody, man, content is everything. Content is life. Content is what you do. You just wake up and just everybody making lifestyle videos now. It's from the day when we wake up to the morning to work. So the most important thing I would tell you is get around people, who making content every day. Anything that you want in life as a Black entrepreneur, especially, you have to get around the type of people who doing it. You got to get around people who texting you, hey, we making content today. You got to get around those type of people. If they not those type of people, you can still feed them. Just they can't eat at your table. You feed them to go. You have to hang around people who are going to encourage you to do it, like us. People like us, people like Monat, people like real true entrepreneurs who making content. And that's what's going to encourage you. You might not start making content right then and there. It might take steps. It might take baby steps. But when you continuously hanging around this type of people, going to dinners with those type of people, getting in group chats and group texting with those type of people, only following those type of people on social media, then the steps will come. But it's all about your surrounding. It's all about your surrounding and who you connecting with.
I love that. Y'all got me hyped, and I'm just taking the seat today. I'm so excited. Oh, this is so good. Okay, I know that there's a few questions in the chat too. The first one, Charnel said, and any of y'all could take this. What's your take on enrolling someone? Okay, so this is for the Monat business partners. What's your intake on enrolling someone who owns a salon or spa? Would you focus on VIP or a market partner?
I would say as a Monat market partner, you got to meet people where they at, especially with a business like Monat, or being on a business like this, you have to meet people where they at, so just have a conversation with them, put them on calls with different people, let them make the decision. You just be a leader, you just encourage and lift them. And so, like I said, take the steps to it. And that's what I do with people who trying to join Monat, who got business own barbershops like me, who just hairstylists or barbers, anything, let them know, I'm gonna meet you where you at. I'm gonna encourage you. Market partner or VIP, it doesn't matter. Just take one of the steps. Just encourage them to take one of the steps. They're gonna do it. If they see people like us who encourage, who on fire each and every day, they're gonna do it. They have no choice but to do it. Even if they don't do it right then, they'll do it one day. So just meet them where they at. Just meet them where they at, and just continue to encourage them and be a leader, and let God do the rest for it. Let God do the work.
I love that. I'm just looking at the time. Okay, 8:55. Okay, so next question, Tara, because I want to answer everyone's questions. Tara said, when having a new Black entrepreneur or market partner who's getting started in the business, what's your best advice or resources to guide them?
Honestly, resource wise, first of all, like following all of us, because like I said earlier, we all want to see something familiar. And if we're just being completely transparent, we are not the face of Monat. We're just not. It doesn't negate the products and how awesome they are and how much we love them, but just being completely honest, we are not the face. You don't see us first. So, you know, just reflecting them to those of us who are in this chat, those are the people who follow this page. You know, there are a lot of Black Monat market partners and VIPs who use the products and who are consistent with the products and have results. So show them results from people who look like us so they can make them even more of a believer, just in that relatable sense.
Hey, it's Tara. I wanted to say, I'll show my face. I want to thank you guys for that because I felt the same. Can you hear me?
Mhm.
I felt the same because I had reached out to my upline because I felt like I have friends of all walks of life and all skin colors, and the ethnic hair is different. And I have friends who are mixed. And so when I'm trying to recommend products or I'm getting content that's created and shared, I wasn't getting a lot of that. And I'm like, well, who am I reaching out to get advice? Because it's like you said, you want somebody who looks like you and been through the struggles of hair struggles like you. And I found it was less. And I actually brought it to my upline, like my SED level. And I was so happy to see you guys have this group because I do feel like it's an area of improvement that Monat can work on to be more faces. And I think I've seen more in the last year since I spoke up, and like being in other countries of other different cultures, I feel like I'm seeing more, but I think it could still be even more than it is now. So I totally agree with what you're saying. I really appreciate your advice so I can give advice to my friends and my new market partners and my customers.
And on top of that, I am a natural hairstylist and a natural hair educator. So if this is me telling you directly, if you ever have any very specific questions about, you know, any potentials or anything that you have in their situations and the problem you're looking to solve, please feel free to reach out to me via Instagram, whatever it may be, and I will help you along the way for sure.
Thank you so much. And this was Tiffany, right?
Correct.
You're in Atlanta.
I am.
So am I. So, okay, we're not too far.
Perfect. Perfect.
Thanks.
No problem.
Awesome. Does anyone have any last minute questions? We have 2 minutes. If not, no worries. Definitely shoot any of the questions to our IG page. Again, we did record this, so it's going to be on our YouTube channel. If you don't know it, it's the same handle, the Melanin of Monat. So all of our trainings this month have been recorded, so you could play them back, send them out to your teams, all that good stuff. But you know, we really created this, the BC Collective Black creators, just for all the reasons we said today. So I will go ahead and pass it off to Bethany to close us out.